guys, welcome back to another video. We're gonna continue this build. We got that 5.3 rolling. As you saw, we got this thing painted. I actually just got it back from washing it. I actually had it at the car wash just because it's winter outside, you know. So I got lots of snow, freezing temperatures, and I didn't want to make the driveway all icy. So took it to the car wash with the engine stand and everything. I just hand bombed the block onto the box, put the stand onto the box, took it all to the car wash and just reversed it. Brought all my brushes with and some degreaser and whatnot and went to town. So cleaned it up real good, went through all the orifices everywhere, all the oil galleys with brushes. Even though it was cleaned at the machine shop already, man, I'm telling you, when you run your brushes through, there's going to be a lot of trash that's still going to come out of there. A lot of grease and you name it. So once you get back from the car wash, guys, very important, it's going to want to rust on you real quick. So get you some WD-40, eh? Make sure you have that ready to roll. So before I even put this on the truck box, I sprayed it down with WD-40 like crazy, as much as I could everywhere. Got it home, and right away is again WD-40, wipe it down, WD-40, air dry it, compressed air, all the holes. You want to make sure there's no water left in any of your holes anywhere at the bottom, because I mean, you drive your bolts into your holes here with water in there, you're gonna end up cracking something. So make sure everything's all blowing out, cleaned, and brake clean some more, or sorry, WD-40 some more. You just keep it going until this thing is clean and dry and no water left anywhere, so that way you're not getting any kind of rust happening. So that's all done, we're good there. I'm gonna flip this thing around and we're actually gonna install the cam bearings. We're gonna get that going and then we can test fit the cam. So these are the bearings we're gonna be using. I wanted the CHP-10T, but this is the interchange part number that I got. It is a coated style bearing, so that's perfect for what we're doing here. So we'll go ahead and get these installed and test fit the camshaft. Okay, as you saw, got the cam bearings in, went in beautifully. They are all ready to rock. Got the cam test fitted and fit perfect. Cannot ask for a better fit than what I got with this cam right now. So we are going to go ahead and move on. We're gonna put, let's see, what do I want to do next? Guys, what are we doing here? You know what, let's put some core plugs in here. Let's get the plugs. We're gonna get this plug in. That's a cup plug. These ones are a thread in. So I got a big one for here. And then we got the dumbbell. This dumbbell I'll probably wait until later on because obviously the stand's in the way. So once I got the crank on and everything, I'll put this back cover in. Before I put that cover on, then I will put that plug in. So we'll do all the rest of them though. We'll get all these plugs in. And then we'll put the main bearings in, install the crank, and continue on. All right, so I tried installing the crankshaft and checking the end play, and it was actually tight. I was getting about maybe 2.5 thousandths of an inch. That's too tight for what I want to do here. So I got myself a flat surface here. I'm going to get myself some sandpaper, and I am going to actually sand the thrust sides. I'm going to sand them like that, flat. I'm going to do the same on the lower as well as the upper. And then we'll check the clearance again and see if we can't get something a little bit looser. I'd like to be around 4 or 5 thousandths of an inch. I'd feel pretty comfortable with that, so we're going to shoot for that. Okay, gents, I have finally got the end play where I want it. Had a nice little coffee break there with buddy Clint, so that was awesome. Thanks, Clint, for the coffee. But yeah, now I got these dialed in. I had to sand both halves, right? Because you obviously want it even. And I had to try it a few times. A little trial and error going on here. You know, install the crank, set it up, check where you're at, take it apart, sand it, and keep coming back and forth just so you don't go too far. But I think we're looking pretty good right now here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to gently pry on that cap there. Yeah, so we're about 0, just touch under maybe. And we're going to flip her the other way. So just under 5, but we were just under 0, so we're at 5 thou right now. Yeah, so we got 5 thousandths clearance, so big win. Good on that. Now we can, actually I gotta pull this apart one more time. I gotta lube up the thrust between the bearing and the crank, right? So one more time, crank comes out, lube it up, put it back together, torque it down, we're good to go. Okay, so I got all the main caps placed on, tapped down with the butt of the hammer there, just so they're seated. Got the bolts all seated. Not really any torque on, just seated. So torque spec is 15 foot-pounds for the initial pass on the inners, and then 81 or 80 degrees of twist after the fact. And then the outers are going to be 15 foot-pounds for the initial and 51 degrees on the twist. So I'm just going to use the old snap-on here, you know the deal. Works awesome, especially for when you're trying to use the degrees. Oh, just so much nicer than sitting there and fiddling with your little degree finder. But I mean, they work too. I use that for quite a few builds already, and it does the trick. So for those who are curious, at the 81 degrees there, of course the fan's going to come on right then, but at about 80 degrees, we're sitting at about 60 foot-pounds of torque. So I was seeing anywhere from 58 to about 61 foot-pounds of torque on 80 degrees of twist after the fact. Just in case, you want to try it that way and risk it for the biscuit, that works too. Or I should say, that may work too. All right, now we'll get those outers done. Back to 15 foot-pounds here. So for these, I'm seeing about 55 foot-pounds at our 50 to 52 degrees of twist. So it's right around 55 foot-pounds, in case you're curious about that as well. Okay, now she's good to go. She spins beautifully. I have bearing guard on there, so it's a little bit thicker. We got our 5 thousandths of end play. Now we'll just go ahead and pop in our side bolts. Those are going to be 18 foot-pounds. I'm going to put a little bit of silicone around the outside edge, just so it doesn't leak. Whatever, everyone hates a leak, right? So we'll do that for all 10 of them, and then the crank is in, officially installed. Okay, so now we got our crank installed. We're all good there. Next step is to pair up our rods and piston combos here. We got the rods all set up from doing the bearing clearance. so they are still torqued. So I will need to put them in the rod vise right there, and I will loosen them all off. And then I'm going to grab the pistons, which are in that box and that mess over there. Things are piling up pretty quick on me over here. So then we're going to pair them up, and we're going to put our piston rings on. We're gonna make sure we got the top in the right spot, second in the right spot, etc. We're gonna orientate the rings on the piston themselves correctly based on thrust, which I won't cover here because I've already done that in another video. So go back and check that out if you want to know more about that. Yeah, I'm tired. Feels like it's been a long day, but I really haven't done much. I haven't been very productive, but I'm just tired. Just tired. So yeah, let's get to it. Alright, as you saw, got the pistons and rod combos slid into the engine. Turned it over, checked the cylinder walls for any kind of scoring. You know, if you didn't deburr your piston rings or even your oil rings, you know, they can scar your cylinder walls. But as I put it in there, turn around a few times, take a look at your cylinder walls, see what it's doing. These look great, nothing to be worried about there. So now I got these all in, it's time to torque them. So we're gonna go 15 foot-pounds on the initial pass, and then we're gonna go 75 degrees after that. We're just gonna work front to back here. All right, as you can see, boys and girls, got a little oil to clean up there, but she is together. Short block is complete. It's all in there. Cylinders are looking great. I'm not seeing any marks from anything. Everything's smooth. Perfect. 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 I can't say the last one. You say it for me. All right. I think we're going to call it good there. Sorry for all the time-lapse stuff. Believe it or not, I actually had time-lapse videos that went missing on me too. Good thing I didn't have those, because otherwise it would have been even more. Oh man, what a day. So yeah, let's just wrap it up, boys, girls, ladies, gents. Thanks a lot for watching, and stay tuned for another one.